Adriana.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to another exciting season of Two Moms in the Kitchen.
This season is sure to bring you some great new recipes, many tips and tricks for working in the kitchen, a whole lot of good conversation, and a great deal of fun.
We know that the world looks a little different now, but we hope that we can bring some joy and laughter into your home each episode.
We are so excited to be back. Welcome back. Today we're going to demonstrate knife skills. We find that this is very important because we all could use an update on remembering how to properly cut something because we want to save our digits.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to cut a pepper, we're going to cut a carrot, and we'll show an easy way to cut an onion and hopefully not shed a lot of tears. We're also going to talk about sharpening a knife too. You can buy knife sharpeners, this easy one, Adriana bought at Walmart. So any local retailer has them, and it's just a simple process. You just want to go slow, dragging your knife through it. So you just choose. This one, I believe, is the two-step. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got a coarse and fine. So coarse first, and then fine to finish off. That'll clean it all up. So you're just going to hold it and just drag it through, just like that.
Slowly, nobody needs to, we're not in a race.
Nope.
Nobody needs to lose a finger when you're sharpening the knife.
That's right.
Very relaxed.
So like that, and then just right through the fine one just to clean it up. And then you've got a nice, and you don't want to do it in jerky motions, nice smooth motions so that it keeps the blade nice and clean.
I find this to be much easier than what usually comes, the knife sharpener that comes in the block, where you're like going crazy like Gordon Ramsay. This keeps my knives sharp, and I don't have to worry about poking my eye out with the knife sharpener.
Yes.
That would be too much.
That's right. So you always want to make sure that you have sharp knives. Now, that kind of seems counterintuitive because sharp knives mean that you can cut yourself easier. But when you have a sharp knife, it's going to cut through your fruit or vegetable or piece of meat cleaner, and then you're not going to have to put as much weight on, and then it will wiggle around, and you could potentially hurt yourself. Exactly. So sharp knife, slow motions. Again, this isn't a race. We're not top chefs or anything like that. We just want safe skills in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to start with the carrot first, and I'm going to take my chef's knife here. I'm just going to chop off the front or the tips.
See how easily it just slides
right through, just like butter.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to give it a quick peel here. And I'm peeling away from my body. So that way there's no chance of hurting ourselves. Oh, and I forgot to mention that we did wash our hands beforehand.
Absolutely.
So safety first, cleanliness, all that good stuff. So we're just going to...
I'm going to get you
a garbage bowl?
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Keeping your work surface clean is another good tip. Okay, so let's move these out of the way so that we can see. So what you want is to grip, but you also want to use your knuckles as a guide and tuck those fingers in. We don't want any loose fingers out. So we're going to tuck it in and hang on to it. And you're going to keep the point of the knife on the board, and you're going to slice down, just like that. Now I have my pointer finger on top to guide, and see, I'm not going fast. I just want it nice and easy, and it's sliding right through. And I'm moving my hand back, keeping those fingers tucked under, just like that. See, nice and easy.
Very even slicing.
Oh, thank you. There's a few that are uneven, but that's okay. We're not perfectionists here, so that's all right. And lastly, see, my fingers are tucked under. There we go. All right, and there's our carrot done.
Perfect.
All right. Now there's lots of different types of knives that you can use. Obviously, pick the one that it feels most comfortable in your hand and that you have most control over. There's ones that are ceramic knives. I really like this one, and it comes with a guard too, which I really like, so that when it's in the drawer, nobody gets nicked fingers or anything like that. There are serrated knives, like for cutting tomatoes and stuff like that. That slices really nicely through. And again, that one has a guard. Then you've got your large chef knife for meats or larger vegetables. This one is actually, I love this one. This is great, good size, comfortable.
Canadian Tire.
Oh, well, there you
Look
go.
at that.
Look at that, perfect. And then there's also the paring knife too. And I've got a couple of these at home too. They're really comfortable, really handy. They're great. So, okay, so next we're gonna do the pepper. Now peppers are kind of a little wonky because of the shape of them. So I'm going to show you what my trick is. So what I like to do is just slice right through the center of it. There we go. So now we're gonna lay it down. Now what you're gonna do is peel out as much of the seeds and white stuff. I don't know what the technical term is.
I think it's called the fiber.
The fiber, okay, we'll go with that. That sounds good. And then I like to cut it into more manageable chunks like that. Now, sometimes what you need to do is actually take your paring knife to get some of that white stuff out. So you're just gonna slide it along. Again, keeping your fingers out of the way. There we go, let's do that way. There. Just like that. And then we'll give that a rinse to get rid of all the rest of the seeds. But again, there's not a race. You just wanna take your time, go slow.
And if you find during your cooking that you're getting a little bit crazy with time, you can always prep your vegetables ahead of time, and then while you're cooking, add them in. So if you know, like I know if I'm making a chili, I'll do the vegetables the night before, so that when I put it all in the crock pot or whatever I need to do, it's already ready. I don't have to be rushed in the morning to get it in the crock pot and everything. So you just do it the night before, nice and calmly. That way nobody gets hurt.
Exactly, yeah. There's nothing worse than trying to rush through a recipe, and then that's when accidents happen, missteps. So yes, the more calm, the better. So now what you're gonna do is lay the rounded part down on the countertop or on the cutting board, and tucking my fingers in, I'm just gonna slice like that. And then if we wanna dice it, keeping those fingers tucked in. If you get too close, the knife should be hitting your knuckles, not your fingertips. Okay, so there's that. We'll cut some slices here. I just find that you have better control of kind of a bowl shape vegetable if you lay it down and cut it into smaller pieces.
Yes.
So there's some strips.
This is also a good trick for if you have to make lunches or whatever. I love to give my kids peppers. That's one vegetable that they'll eat raw.
Yes.
And so when I come home from the grocery store, I cut up all the peppers and have them in the container. So in the morning, I just can quickly throw them in and be done, because it's kind of a pain to have to do that in the morning.
Absolutely.
And waste a cutting board and the knife and all that stuff. So if everything's cut up, you're good to go.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of good tips about when you come home from the grocery store. You know, wash your fruits and vegetables right away, then put them in the fridge. That way if the kids go and grab them,
Oh yeah.
they're already clean. You don't have to worry about that. So definitely a good tip. Okay, so lastly we're going to show the onion, our favorite. So the trick that I have learned is to cut from, what would you call it, root to tip, I guess?
Yep.
Keep it intact, and then it keeps the layers together better. So I'll show you how to do that. So what you want to do, I like to hang on to it and press down and cut right through. There we go. That way we have a flat surface. So now you're going to peel, hopefully.
Onions are such a pain.
Yes. I can already feel the tears welling up. This is a juicy onion.
When we were working in the center, I was the unofficial onion cutter
Yes.
of the group, because I would have to cut a lot of onions.
You
when I
were
was
good
in-
at it too, and you didn't cry.
No. It takes a very, very special onion. Has to be very juicy.
You have strong tear ducts,
Yes.
huh? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll cut off the one end. There we go. So if you're dicing an onion, this is I think it's a Rachel Ray tip. I could be wrong. But just cut slices down through it, not all the way through, just like this.
Yeah, you want it to stay intact at the end.
That's right. Yep. And then what you're going to do now, this is the part where you're going to keep your fingers in. You're just going to cut inward slowly, slices this way. There we go. And that'll give us our dice. And then I'm going to tuck my fingers in and just cut straight down. And there, you've got your dice.
Yep.
Somewhat.
And depending if you want bigger chunks or smaller chunks is how big you make the slits.
That's right.
So this is I think this is like an average dice.
Yeah. And you can always go back in and chop up if you miss some, but that seems to be the good way to do it.
Yeah. None of my children would be offended by that.
No.
Size.
Well, especially if you're cooking it too, it usually melts down a little bit, so you're good. So that's Knife Skills 101.
Very good. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to our videos so that you can see all the latest videos coming up.